Sure, ma'am. Give me a second.
Yes.
Ma'am, I gave you co-host access.
Right, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes. We are on Facebook Live and we have a minute to go.
Yes, sir. Yes.
We will just get started in a couple of minutes.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can, sir.
Can you see the poster, ma'am?
Yes, yes. Yes.
Right. Naidu sir, can we get started?
Yes, sir. Yes, Subbi. Let us start.
All right. Very good evening, everyone. Welcome to the webinar series being conducted by Rockwoods International School. Today, Lalita ma'am would be talking about the understanding the preschool child. Many of you would have already heard about Lalita ma'am. There is a quick introduction about ma'am. Lalita ma'am is in the field of education for over 30 years. She is in the field of education as 3 Ps: purpose, passion, and pedagogy. She handled various leadership roles over 30 years. She is a pioneer, especially in building pre-primary curriculums, and she has built very good leaders across various educational institutions. She is currently heading Rockwoods International School. Welcome, Lalita ma'am.
Thank you,
Anything
sir.
that I talk about is going to be less. I know that.
Thank you, sir.
We will also get to hear from our chairman, sir, Mr. Ramanaidu. He needs no introduction. He has established various schools to address the needs of children education. Today, he would be talking about the quality of education at Rockwoods International School. Welcome, Mr. Ramanaidu.
Thank you, Subhi.
And without any further delay, let's get to hear about understanding the preschool child, right? I'm sure many of the parents are interested to know about their own child, right? We are all looking forward to hear Lalita ma'am, right?
Thank you,
Over
sir.
to you. Over to
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Subramaniam, sir. And this is the first time, parents of Rockwoods, I'm addressing you. It's my proud privilege to be a part of this wonderful team of Rockwoods and to lead it, and also to be a part with all these wonderful children. I have been interacting with children quite a bit ever since I came on board from June of this year. Of course, the time I have come, it's a difficult time. I'm physically unable to see any of the children, but I have interacted with every child, right from pre-primary to grade 10, in various forums, and I am taking up for the preschool children lovely program called storytelling. Some of you must have seen me yesterday on screen too. The preschool child is so wonderful, and every parent of preschool child is a wonderful person too. They all have wonderful aspirations for their children. The minute a child is born, you will find that parents have such great aspirations that I cannot tell you. You know, whenever I interact with parents, I hear them talking about my child is going to be this, all their dreams, all their aspirations, they want to live through their children. Okay, but let me tell you a little more about this wonderful person, the wonderful human being whom we deal with day in and day out. Okay, so let us understand a little more about this preschool child and what are the needs of this preschool child and how should we leverage our education system so that we give the best to this beautiful little child. Okay, so before I begin, I want to start with a little poem, you know, which is so nice that I always enjoy telling this to all the parents I interact with. Let me share my screen and show it to you all, dear parents. Yes. Now, this is the crux of our dealing with children. Very often, parents, you know, parents are very well-meaning people. The best interest of a child is with the parent only. I don't deny that, and I know that very well. But sometimes, in our enthusiasm to do best for the child, we might end up harming the child. So I always feel it is essential for us to first educate our parents how to bring up your children. Okay, so this poem in brief will give us the complete understanding. If a child lives with criticism, he will learn to condemn. Do not criticize your child. If a child lives with hostility, he learns to fight. So if you have any fights, kindly do not indulge in that in front of your children. Okay, everything. I know there are people, we are all human beings, we have our differences, but kindly spare the child the trauma of witnessing any kind of hostile environment at home. If a child lives with ridicule, he learns to be shy. Do not tease the child. Do not make fun of the child. he will be shy, he will become an introvert, he or she will never come forward and speak. So encourage them. If a child lives with shame, he learns to feel guilty. Okay? If a child lives with tolerance, he learns to be patient. Okay? Teach the child tolerance. If a child lives with encouragement, he will learn to be confident. Encourage children all the time. Be positive with your children. Even if you have something negative to tell it in a positive way. Your children will listen. And believe me, they will grow up with being such wonderful human beings. If a child lives with praise, he learns to appreciate. If a child lives with fairness, he learns justice. If a child lives with security, he learns to have faith. If a child lives with approval, he will learn to like himself. If a child lives with acceptance and friendship, he learns to find love in the world. So, dear parents, this wonderful being, this child whom we are dealing with, okay, she or he is so very precious. So very precious that we need to be extremely careful what we talk in front of them, how we deal with them. Let us teach them to love everybody in this world, to love the whole humanity. I tell that to my students, to the parents I interact with, that, the purpose of education, yes, we have no compromise on their learning the core competencies of their subjects. But besides that, and more important than anything else in this world is, we need to create good human beings who work with humanity, more than anything else. So let us now go on to understanding the preschool child, right? Yes. It takes a big heart to shape a little mind. Yes, this little mind, it is like a sponge. Whatever we give them, they will absorb. Whatever, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything they will absorb. So it's very important for us to give them what their mind needs. Okay, so, yes. Now, these are the formative years. Okay, and research has proved it, that from the time the child is born until the child reaches 7 years of age, okay, which is the pre-operational stage. In educational terms, we call it the pre-operational stage. You will find that the brain development happens maximum at this age. Okay, the neurons in the brain gets connected. Okay, so everything, that they learn, they will imbibe it. We teach children good habits, we will find that children will get the good habits. For example, I have seen many adults, many people in their houses also. They keep their, they keep their, their car keys or, some items here and there, and they go on searching for it throughout their, for at least half an hour. I always end up telling people that you will end up, almost 20% of your life searching for things that you have misplaced. Okay, so it is important that we teach the child to put things back in their places right from a very young age. A place for everything, and everything in its place is a mantra that we need to teach every child. So your child is very fond of playing, exploring. They will mess up your house. Okay, allow them to mess, but also teach them to clean it up. Okay, also teach them to put things back in the place from wherever they have taken. Let them mess, let them do anything, but let them put things back in their places. So this is highly essential. So research also proved that brain growth is the fastest. And given the right impetus and the stimuli, the right push, the right start, and the stimulation for that, you will find that their intellectual and emotional growth knows no boundaries. Okay, parents, please remember these are very, very small things, but very important for us. In school, we will certainly be doing it. There is no doubt about this, that school will definitely be working on this. But back at home also, the same reinforcement. Okay, whatever is being done in the school, home should reinforce the same thing. It's only then there should be no dichotomy in the child's mind that should I do this or should I do that? Only one thing. All of us have to be in alignment. The school, teacher, parent, in alignment for the child's development. Very, very important, parents. Sir, we'll go to the next slide, sir. Yeah. So, in the development of the child's personality, the major milestones are, one is, the first thing we work on is ability for muscular movements. You'll find that the child, when he or she is born, is unable to see properly, hear properly, and then all the faculties of the child develops. Right? The developmental milestones grow up so well. It amazes us to see this little life growing from stage 0 to whatever they are growing up to. Yeah. So first thing is muscular movement. Their ability to hold things, their ability to move their hands, their ability to stand, then their ability to coordinate the hand to the mouth, eye-hand coordination, very important. So these are all little milestones. Generally, when a child is put in school, most parents think that my child has to learn A to Z, has to learn numbers 1 to 100, has to learn the spellings of words. These are given parents. There is no doubt about it that your child will learn this. But what is more important for the child is the ability to learn the different skills. Therefore, skill development is an important component of the preschool. Right? So you will find the child's ability for muscular movement is so important. Then the deepening of intelligence. For a child, everything is abstract. You cannot tell anything as everything in the child's mind is abstract. There is nothing, that you have to show them things for them to believe it. Right? That is the reason why in the preschool, the learning is concrete learning. Unfortunately, right now we are indulging in online. But I will request all of you that the whole reason for my holding this particular webinar is also to help you all to coordinate the child's learning. Okay, so the next is strengthening of their willpower. The child's willpower has to go up. Now, if any of these faculties are deviated, there will be flaws in the child, but there will be also the flaws will continue till the adulthood. The first one, which I told you, if the child lives with criticism, how he will be? The same thing. That child will grow up to be that. You'll find that some people have extreme levels of anger. Why these extreme? Even, you take history, when people have studied personalities, what have they come across? When they have seen why did Adolf Hitler become what he was? It is because of something in his childhood, right? So you will find that it is important that this childhood is molded in the right way for us to get that personality in. Okay, we always tell children that yes, you have to care for your parents, right? So that is an attribute that has to be inculcated from the childhood. Okay, so the next slide, sir. Yes. So you will find that the child actively absorbs a whole lot of things. Shapes, colors, language, dimensions, movements, quantity, identifying people, the concept and idea of I, myself, me, mine. This is all learned through observation, imitation, and repetition. You'll find that everything, child learns every little thing, shapes and colors. They'll begin to start identifying, okay, all these are red in color. So that is one of the important activities is sorting out. We tell children, okay, put all the reds together, put all the greens together, put all the blues together, right? Then colors, shapes, put all the triangles together, all the rectangles together, all the squares together. So you'll find that is the way they segregate things. They learn the whole. So classifying and sorting are such important activities in the preschool. Okay, when we started off, some parents came to me one day, they said, ma'am, I don't see my child doing much, ma'am, here in school. Why, what happened? Ma'am, he is only doing that colors. He will take rajma seeds. He is putting rajma seeds on one side, chickpea seeds on another side. What is this, ma'am? I'm sending my child to look. My neighbor's child has already learned up to 100. My child is not knowing that. I said, your child will know much bit more than this other child because he's learning sorting. He's learning to put things. He's learning to classify. After all, life is all about this. I'm sure all of you who are in your, if you're working in your IT sectors or other places, you know how important these are. How to classify, how to sort, how to put things in their perspective. These are things that the preschool child is learning. We teach the preschool child this. We teach concepts like sink and float. Okay, what is this? When they grow up, that is nothing but buoyancy which the child is learning. It's high-level physics, isn't it? So it is everything the child is learning in the school, right? At the preschool. Then the dimensions. How big is it? How small is it? Okay, how tall is it? Very simple, right? Teach the children. God's love is so wonderful. It's so deep, you can't get under it. It's so you can't run it. It's so high, you can't get over it. So, the dimensions the child. All so simple, everything, every nursery rhyme that the child learns. We teach the children, how to, we teach the children the rhyme like, wheels of the bus go round and round. Doors of the bus go open and shut, open and shut. Opposites, isn't it? So like there are so many rhymes. There are these wonderful rhymes we teach for people. That 5 more 5. Once I caught a fish alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They let it go in. Why did you let it go? Because it bit my, which finger did it bite? The little finger on the right. So they learn so many things. Put your left hand in, left hand out. Okay, so what is this all about? This is all about opposites, everything that the child is learning. So preschool, you will have to love your child, and you'll have to be in sync with whatever the school is doing, right? The movements, right? Quantities, ability to identify people, Then the concept of I, the child will begin to think about I, me. Okay, so that's the reason, by every time the child begins with self. Self, my family, my grandparents, my parents, my grandparents, my brothers, my sisters, because the first identification is with people very close to me, right? Then me and my. So everything is learned through observation, imitation, and repetition. Yeah, so wonderful, isn't it? Yes. Yes, parents, let me hear some non-verbal cues. Yes means please put your hand up or say yes. Click on yes. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Sir, the next slide, sir. Yes. So the child learns through all the senses. Okay. This is also called the sensory motor stage, which means the 5 senses. The sense of touch, the sense of sight, the sense of hearing, sense of smell, sense of taste. All the 5 senses. So you give any object to the child, first thing the child wants to put that in the mouth to see how does it taste. Does it taste sweet? Is it sour? Is it what? The first thing, right? The second thing is they want to touch it, they want to see it, they want to hear it. They put it down so that they hear some sound from it. They put it down. So you will find that they want to explore through all their senses, right? Next is learning through the senses. No, sir. No, the previous one. Muscular movements, intelligence, willpower, cognitive development. What is cognitive development? Reasoning power. The power to know what is right, what is wrong. Just the other day, I'm taking for my classes 1 to 10, I'm taking life skill classes for them. And for the pre-primary, I'm taking storytelling. For the life skill classes of grades 1 and 2, I told the children what is a good touch and what is a bad touch. It's important. Child needs to learn, reason out. Today world is not very, very safe, isn't it? It's not as safe as when I was young. You all are much younger. You're probably half my age, okay? But we will find that the world is definitely, we used to play out in the streets most of the time. Okay, today, which parent will, safely send their children out? It's not safe, isn't it? So we have to teach children how to safeguard themselves. So I was talking to children yesterday about, what's a good touch and what's a bad touch, how to take care of themselves, how not to, get lured by strangers and others. It's very important. As parents also, you people need to talk to children. Befriend your child. Befriend your child, dear parents. You will find there is no way, your child must find in you the best friend. And that is possible only when you have a very non-threatening environment at home. Be firm with your child. I'm not saying that you leave everything open like that. Be firm with your child. Teach your child good habits, good way of behavior. That is possible because your child will learn through imitation. You role model it for your child. Right, children? Right, I am saying children because, I'm used to talking to children so much. Right, parents? Yes. Sir, the next slide, sir, please. Yeah. Now, the school has a skill-based program. Fine motor development, What is fine motor development? Why is it essential? Fine motor is the ability to use the fingers and the finger dexterity. Why is it essential? Because children will be using fingers for everything. We as adults also. Hands are so important for us, for everything. Okay, the ability, the first thing the child must get is the ability to hold the writing tool. That is a pencil, right? So it is important that the child learns to write properly. Okay, parents? So you will find the fine motor development is essential. For that, there are a lot of activities which I'll share with you all a little later. Gross motor, as I told you, practical life skills, very important. You know, you must teach your children how to lay a table, how to fill a water bottle. Don't think, oh, they are too small. They'll learn sometime in their life. Teach them now. They will never learn it later. Okay, teach them to clear the table. When they eat, teach them how to lift their table, their plate, and put it in the sink. Teach them to eat food, to fill water in a glass, how to fold a napkin. Okay, teach them that. Teach them to fold their clothes. They will learn it. And they will never forget it, you know. Then the cognitive skills, art and craft. Okay, music and movement, right? Art and craft. All the little, these days we get so many disposable stuff, you know. You have to reach them, but please do not give them sharp scissors. There are lovely plastic scissors available in all stationery shops. Get that, give that to the child to cut and make into lovely things. I'll tell my teachers to teach you all so that you can teach the children right now. Because in pandemic situations, we are unable to do it at school, everything. We want you all to do it back to right? The atta, you know, you make your dough for chapatis. Apply little oil so it doesn't become sticky. Give it to your children. You want to give them color atta? Add some beetroot juice. That's creativity, right? Music and movement. It really doesn't matter. As adults, it doesn't matter. Me, at this age also, with my granddaughter, I dance and play. I sing, I even dance with them. Okay, so there's nothing wrong in that, right? Music and movement, happiness. Always give your child a happy environment at home. The happiness quotient at home should be the best, right? Right, parents? We'll go to the next slide, sir. Yes, right. Fine motor skills, right? They involve small muscles of the body and enable the function of writing, grasping small objects, passing clothes, tying buttoning their shirts. Okay, for this, scribbling is very important. Old newspapers, spread it on the floor. Give them crayons. Let them scribble what they like. Okay, very important. Now you'll see that, you know, my granddaughter uses my room is my play school for her, play school for her. So everything, my walls are properly scribbled. I told my son, you're going to get the whitewashing done for him. Okay, so it is very important, right? So these are many things, you know, scribbling, sand tracing, coloring, lacing, scooping, clay play, punching, washing, peeling vegetables, squeezing lemon squeezing, shelling peas. When you bring peas, batanis, you know, you should make them shell it. That's very important. Right? Let's go to the next. So these are so very important for you all, you know. little things. You don't have to do anything specially for the child. Involve them in all the work that you are doing. That is more than enough. They will be just loving it, right? Gross motor skills, climbing stairs, kicking. Okay. Throwing the ball, right? Stone into one of the squares. So there is proper eye coordination, eye-hand coordination to ensure that it goes to the right place, right? The child is jumping also on the right squares. Hopscotch. I think all of you know what hopscotch is. In Telugu, we call it Tokkudu Billa. Very important, very good. And even now during pandemic, all you need to do is get some colored chalk, draw it on your floor, okay? And then give one flat piece of anything and let the child play on that. Balancing beam. Okay, schools have balancing beam. If you don't have, doesn't matter, any parapet wall, which is just of half a foot high, the child can play on it. Rolling the mat. Balancing the book on head. The other day I saw our Vijaya ma'am doing that. Okay, walking on the toes, walking on the heels, climbing up the monkey bar, dancing in a circle. Very important. See, these are lovely things. Why I'm telling you is, don't feel that, okay, ma'am is telling us this. What is the school? School will do it. Reinforce at home. Okay, I don't want great homework from your children. This is the work I want. I want all these to be reinforced back at home. Right, sir? The next slide, sir. Right. Practical life skills. Use of fork and spoon, wearing an apron, setting the table, buttoning the shirt, germination of seeds. Still, believe me, get one small pot, put, just that little dhania seeds, right? Kotmir comes out. Okay, so beautiful. They will love it. It is the sprouting of life that they are seeing. Watering plants, so important. They're small things. We feel, okay, what will we involve our children now? Why my child is very naughty, ma'am. So what you end up doing is give them mobile or the TV and give some chips, keep the child engaged and let the child do that. That is what we are doing now. We need to involve. Our parenting should be involved parenting. Right? Next slide, sir. Yes. Cognitive skills. Children make a lot of associations. What are associations? If I do this, this will come. Okay, now my granddaughter is just 1.5 years old. She's not started talking yet. So I got her A to Z, that magnetic slate with A to Z. So she's not started speaking yet, but I taught her one thing. I taught her the rhyme and rhythm with that. That is A, B, C, D. The minute I say that, she will go and get that magnet slate and give it in my hand. That means she's associating that sound of A, B, C, D with that slate, right? Associations, identifying patterns. We have those little things, where you have those toys where, you have the triangle, you have the square, and you have the rectangle. So if the child is putting that particular shape into that, it goes. Okay, so that is, the shapes that they see. Then matching. This goes with this. Okay, grouping, putting things together, all the reds together. Right? See and tell. Seeing something, talking about it. They'll also spot out the differences. You give them different ones, you put all the squares together and one rectangle or one triangle or one circle. They'll say, these are all together. This is not a part of this. Puzzles, sorting beats and pulses. Very important. They must learn processing. Processing is an important part in the brain, right? They have to process the information. You have to train, you have to tune the brain. So even when you are talking, you must teach them to talk. So which means we teach them with harsh, we teach them with low, we whisper and teach them what processing that happens. Processing, thinking of things, right? Let's go to the next slide, sir. I think we are through. Yes. So, dear parents, this is art and craft. Very important. I'm sure teachers are asking you all right now, please do thumb painting, please do palm painting. You know, some parents will say, what is this, ma'am? What are you teaching them? But very important for their color scheme, right? Palm printing, dabbing, pasting, freehand drawing, coloring, mixing of colors. You know, we always, for children, you know, for the first timers in children, it's a magic, you know. Children, shall we have a magic of colors? Then, you know, you get a yellow and you get a blue color and you say, no, this is yellow paint, this is blue paint. Take a brush, put little yellow, put little blue, and then mix it. And then what are we getting? Oh my God, we've got a green color. This is the magic of colors. Put a red and a yellow, you get an orange. Magic of colors. For children, everything is wonderment. They'll find the stars in their eyes are enough for us to last a lifetime. Okay, dear parents, so I think, you know, I have spoken a long time, but it is essential. Parenting is the most wonderful gift given to us, and let us all make best use of this opportunity. We have become parents, we should be blessed. Yes, let us take this opportunity of being blessed and give to these children what is most essential for us. Thank you, dear parents. I request sir to speak, after which I will take question and answers from you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lalita ma'am. I think a lot of details are added. Many parents already started. Many parents have started sending questions to you a lot. Hopefully, we'll get time to answer all of those questions. Next, I would
even otherwise, parents, if I'm not able to answer everything, I'm always in the school. I have already speak to me. You can connect them to me at any given point of time. I will be available to you.
Great,
yes,
ma'am. Great. Now I request Naidu sir to talk about the quality of education at Rockwoods International School. You can unmute, please.
Yeah. A very good evening, all of you. I have a few minutes.
Sir.
Let me talk about how Rockwoods International School is going to help parents and students to learn in during this pandemic time. Most of you might have seen for the last few days, we have been running online classes, even from LKG, UKG, and nursery kids also. This is going to help our students to improve their social and emotional balance. And the curriculum we are trying to follow is inquiry-based curriculum, where we structured the curriculum to make sure that children will learn literacy, numeracy, and also understand the world through different activities. It's not about just by hearting few numbers or few alphabets and knowing few shapes. It's all about we are trying to find the child transition from informal preschool education to formal education of grade 1. It requires the child has to undergo different phases of learning, especially literacy learning. It's not about literacy means just learning few alphabets. Child has to learn phonemes and the letters are words which really how to pronounce. As a school, we are trying to introduce even voice and action classes, preschoolers also. That would help the children how to learn pronunciation from beginning of their life so that their mother tongue influence would not be there. When it comes to numeracy, when you teach shapes and different numbers and also comparison and sortings, child will understand how to differentiate between different things what is see in the home. Though these things looks very simple and silly, but for the child of age 4 or 5, these are really very much important to understand the world or differentiate or distinguish between other beings. Mostly children learn everything through images till we try to introduce him different shapes and concepts. If you ask your child after completing a year in the preschooling, who am I? The child try to draw a shape of circle, try to keep one triangle and few hands, few legs with the shape of different shapes he learned mathematics. That means child trying to imitate himself, who he is. Ultimately, if school and parents and teachers are helping the children to understand, to make him understand that who he is, how he has to sail through the life day in, day out, how to express himself, whether it is related to his language of communication or whether his needs. Prior to preschooling, mostly children express their anger or their needs to different tantrums. But once we have been structuring this learning process through different activities and actions of the teachers and other friends, children will learn how he can be more independent thinker, how he can really express what he really needs. So learning literacy, numeracy, in addition to social, emotional skills, how to behave with others, how really he can share the things with others is most important. We should really teach at this point. I think our principal and our teachers all are working toward this goal. Though it's a pandemic time, many of the parents may have an understanding that preschool means learning few alphabets and few numbers. It's not about few these things. Preschool means you are trying to shape the child mind and body to really have a formal education for the grade 1. So when they see other children through either camera or when they listen other child in the voice, obviously they really connect to them and try to see that they don't feel like alone at home. They never feel like growing in elderly parents, right? As an elderly person, though we have abundance love towards your children, you can never behave like a child with them. Either you wanted to control or whether you wanted to enforce your ideology or your thoughts on this. Rather, you never wanted to be like a peer. You never can play along with the child the way other children communicates. I see, I have one of my daughter is studying LKG. I see the kind of response she gives to other child far better than the kind of response she gives to me or my wife, because she always has a feeling that she has been interacting with someone who is of their age. That's the reason most of our children love to spend time with TVs and mobile rather than with us. The reason is they see other side, someone with the same age, someone who is trying to express the feelings what they really want. So I encourage, I invite all the parents, though it's difficult times, though parents may be feeling difficult to sit along with the children in the preschooling, LKG, UK children, because they may not be able to sit. You sit quality amount of time with the children. You can understand how your children can interact with other students. They learn these concepts of structured inquiry and also social emotional skills, so that child will feel little motivated and they'll not really feel emotionally low. And almost children are in the home for last 5 months. Take this as an opportunity to allow your children to interact with others through digital media, rather than just make him to by heart few alphabets, few numbers. Learning alphabet by hearts can happen only 2 days, but it's not a learning. This learning has to be structured in such a way that child has to use this learning in his formal education of grade 1 to grade 5 or grade 6 to grade 10. So I encourage parents and teachers and also other stakeholders, encourage your students to attend online classes, so that children will really learn something out of it. They will come out of all the disturbances, mental balances, so that we'll see best future for the children. So that's all I have, ma'am. If
Thank you, sir.
there are any questions, I think
Yes.
parents can check with you.
Yes,
Thank you very much, my dear parents, and also thank you, ma'am and Subhi. And there are some other teachers also joined. I'm really happy to see almost hundreds of parents in Facebook and this media. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think there are a good number of questions have come, ma'am. Before
Sure, sir.
I can take up those questions,
Sir.
I request parents who are attending this webinar through Zoom, you can send the questions in the Zoom chat. And if you're attending through Facebook, please go ahead and put it as a comment. We'll take up those questions in this webinar.
Sure.
Ma'am, there are 3 questions from one parent. Let me take one at a time. Let
Yes,
me
sir.
read out as he just sent it. If we consider preschool child's learning as installation of software, then
Okay.
then there is a long gap due to coronavirus in that installation.
Yes.
If the school and parents want to reinstall the software after the pandemic, what kind of strategies and practical plans school is planning in the syllabus and off of the syllabus activities?
Sure.
That is
Sure.
question number 1, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So this is a very good question. Yes. Well, see, I don't think the learning has stopped at all. Learning is continuing. Okay, one of the main reasons for this webinar is also because teachers are, conducting the activities virtually. But the real experience is we request parents to kindly take it up back at home. So I have seen, balancing a book, for example. There was this wonderful activity going on. The teacher is doing it. So with the assistance of the parent, I found that the children were doing it. And I have told teachers also, ask parents to click little videos of their children doing these activities, whether it is the sorting activities, it is the classifying activities, it is the art and craft activities, it's fingerprinting. Let them do it, let them post it to us. Okay, it gives the sense of pride, because we intend posting it in our Facebooks or our YouTube channel or so on. So the child, I have said, for the child to see himself or herself on this will definitely be something, a matter of pride. Now coming to what kind of gaps that are there and how are we going to bridge those gaps. Now the gaps, I don't foresee huge gaps in the preschool and primary education. Yes, when it comes to the secondary education, we do have gaps because we are trying our best. Everything is virtual. Okay, tests are virtual, but we need children. Ultimately, come what March, the child is going to write the exam. He's not going to get an online exam. So these are gaps which we are, working to a large extent to address them. But so far as the preschool is concerned, the gaps will be very small. School will definitely be taking it up, and children, the young ones, are the most resilient lot. The quickest learners are the children. The young ones are quick to forget, but quick to learn also. That's one of the reasons why we are encouraging parents to bring them online so that they see their friends, they learn to socialize, they see, okay, there is somebody else there like me, there is someone else doing something like me. They see that itself. And once they come to school, they are again, oh, I have seen Sushma. Sushma is there. Okay, I've seen her online. Now I'm seeing her. So there will be that natural affinity that comes, so I'm sure, even in your families, you are all scattered. You have some cousins and some brothers, children, and others, in different parts of the world and different parts of the country. And you all are seeing each other online. So that's the way we stay connected. Grandparents and children, all of us stay connected in these ways, So school will definitely be expediting and taking up a lot more activities in more structured way once the physical classes will be starting. But until then, we request parents to be our partners in educating the child in practical ways. We are doing the virtual education, practical education. We want you to continue giving. And once they are in school, we will start off with our practical education.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I think from same parent, we have second question.
Yes, sir.
What new activities school is planning to face the suppressed energies of kids after the coronavirus pandemic, except syllabus? For example, teaching new normal sanitization gestures versus old normal gestures like hug, shake, punch, high fives,
Yes.
as pre-primary children are joining completely new normal. This should be done without hurting or disturbing the social relationships.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. In fact, I should say that some of the practices which we have adopted from the Western world, our customs and traditions have always been very nice. We always had the wonderful namaste. We had the little children. I remember when I was a little child, my father used to tell, if anybody comes home, he used to tell, namaste chapamma, he used to tell me, So these are things, which will come back. We will definitely do, saluting with a namaste is as good and as respectful and as loving as giving a hug, I should say, or a high five. Okay, so these are things we will come back to brass tacks. We'll come back to our original, and we will be dealing with the children very sensitively. So far as, the new normal is concerned, their sanitizing of their hands, washing before. And in fact, at preschool, we always teach them. Okay, even if a preschool child is eating with a spoon, we take all the children in line to the washrooms. They wash their hands before eating. They come and they start eating. After finishing, they go back again. They wash their hands and come back. At preschool, we are bang on with our manners. Okay, we teach everything. Washing your hands before and after eating is something that every preschool child has been taught, will continue to be taught. Okay, and then of course we will be teaching them not to touch the surfaces, not to put their hands in their mouth, not to put their hands to their nose, not to rub their eyes. These are important things that we will be teaching them also. Okay, so that they know how to safeguard themselves. Right? I hope I answered your question, parent.
Yes, ma'am, there is a third question as well.
Yes,
maybe
sir.
you have answered this question, but parent, reframe this question. One can act like child, but cannot become the one.
Yes, absolutely, sir. We don't want any.
Yeah, let me complete this question, ma'am.
Sir.
Due to coronavirus, nursery kids did not go to school for last 4 months. How to deal with this void in minds of the kids? What are the strategies of the school? Yeah. This was the complete question.
Yes, sir. School will definitely be, working extensively so far as the skills are concerned, sir. And so far as the first part of your question is concerned, yes, we definitely don't want any adult to become childish, but we want every adult to be childlike. Okay, laughing, smiling, spreading happiness. Okay, this is all childlike qualities. Throwing tantrums, crying, these are childish. I always tell them that, that we need to be childlike. Okay, even a 80, I know my own gurus, some of them are 85, some of them are close to 90. I hope, sometime I will get them also to interact with you all. Okay, you will find that they are so energetic, at this age, right? And they are so childlike in their demeanor. You cannot even, believe that, oh, this lady is 80 years old or 90 years old, and she comes with a walking stick and throws the stick, and then she does all the rhymes and other things. It's an amazing thing to watch. But I think we all need to be childlike, and we all need to imbibe in our children that. And the school, you stay rest assured, sir, school will definitely be working with an extra renewed plan to ensure that the gaps that have occurred will be bridged. Right?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. The next question is it necessary to let the child to know of the pandemic and consequences, or let them know naturally, be positive and enjoy and engage themselves in the best possible ways?
It is important to let the child know what the pandemic is, because children, even when we are talking to children, never talk to the child in the childish voice. Always use your adult voice only to talk to the child, because the child should not. Sometimes, we as adults, we end up, if the child is talking in that nice, soft, beautiful, childlike, we also end up using that language. We should use the language which we are used to talking all the time. So children, they need to get used to this. So children need to definitely know what the pandemic is about. But it is not the gory side of the pandemic is something that we need not tell the little ones. They might get scared also. But why are we at home? We are at home because of this. What should we do? We should take care of ourselves. How should we take care? How not to touch surfaces when we go outside? Those are things we have to definitely teach them. But the fact that the pandemic is resulting in so many deaths, these are things which, we need not tell the very small ones, because it is not essential for them.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. I think there is one question. I think this is more on the technical issue, ma'am. Sometimes videos are breaking, and it is also not audible. It is informed multiple times, but it is still repeating, and it is becoming a big problem for the children. I think that is something which has to be addressed.
Yes.
I think to the parent, we can assure you we will look into that and see what we can do so that this problem will be avoided going forward.
So maybe we'd like to request our
Yes.
PRM check their internet speed and also teacher internet speed.
Yes.
That would try to understand the problem. Is it a source problem or is it a destination problem? We'll try to address this problem by Monday.
Yes.
And
Yes.
also one of the parent, I think maybe same parent, sometimes the videos that are being played, they are not able to understand anything. Is there anything that can be done on that front?
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
So if the videos are of a higher level, then, children sometimes don't understand. I will definitely tell the teachers that they need to explain whatever video they are showing, so that it's not just playing a video and leaving it, but discussion on that video and discussing the points that are shown there, so that the child gets to understand more about it rather than just playing and leaving. I will definitely look into that, sir.
Yes, ma'am. And this question also you may want to answer, ma'am. I think my
Yes.
request is changing the timings of the classes for my children. Would you like to
We are
answer
doing
that, ma'am?
Sir, we are certainly working on that. There are new guidelines which have come to us from the MHRD, and we are working on these also and trying our best to ensure we're trying to make as many, as much as possible. See, the classes to be, fun filled. The learning actually happens for just about 20 minutes so that the child, see, when the child is learning, the child is glued to the screen. But when the child is doing something, like to say, some artwork or something, child is looking at the teacher and looking down also. And we have also, we are giving the instructions to our teachers that after 20 minutes, every child should close the eyes for a 10 to 20 seconds, the teacher and the children, so that the eyesight doesn't get affected. We are very conscious about this, sir, and we have certainly reduced the number of periods. You will see, sometimes I feel a little worried because, just last week we did some changes with the timetable. And this week we are again doing some changes with it. I'm worried parents will say, what are you, ma'am? You're so frivolous. You're changing your timetable ever so often. You might come and ask me also. But this is being done because of the best interests of the children and the new guidelines that we have received. Okay. So
Thank you, ma'am. And one other question that has come is, how will you conduct physical activities in school after Corona?
sir, we will definitely be working. See, our classes also, we will arrange the class in such a way that there is good social distancing maintained, right? And then when it comes to the physical activities also, some of the activities which involves the children staying close to each other will be avoided. Okay, those where we can maintain proper social distancing will certainly be taken up. And at all points of time, children and teachers will be, working on the safety norms. There'll be no compromise on the safety norms. Right now, also, if you enter our school, you will find that right from the security guard, first he checks my temperature. Even if I go there now, he'll check my temperature. As soon as I enter, first my temperature is checked. Then I'm guided to a hands-free, sanitizing area where I sanitize my hands and then I enter. So I'm sure once the children come in, we will be working on probably the sanitizing tower and things like that, so that we take all precautionary norms. We will never.
Ma'am, I would like to
compromise on-
add one point in addition to
Sir.
what you shared.
Sir.
See, we are really working on this COVID-19 norms. Fortunately, we have plenty of space at our campus to maintain 6 feet distance norms, and all our infrastructure are also independent chairs and tables where we don't have any joint tables to arrange two students sit together. All our classroom infrastructure such a way that every table and desk is independent enough for the child. So we can provide 6 feet distance between each child, and also we have plenty of space in the ground. We can send one class at a time to the ground and make sure that only 4 to 5 students will be in one ground, other ground they'll be doing remaining things. So I think we have enough space and also infrastructure to accommodate the new norms. And when it comes to other sanitization and thermal temperature and washrooms, that we'll be taking care of it. Even now, all these things are in place. We have built SOPs to handle the situation the best. Once government gives a permission, we are the ones we should able to handle the best to safeguard our children's safety and also parents' interest.
All right.
Absolutely.
I think there are a couple of questions. I think maybe these are from children, I hope. they're asking, they're interested to know when school is going to reopen.
Yes, we are also, wanting the same thing, children.
So most
But as
probably
soon as
sometime in
things-
August last week it may happen. Let us hope for the best. The government is working on the new norms and also trying to look at the curve, how the curve is going to flatten very soon. There are many good news about medicine, vaccine. You are all really happy to know about these news. And I'm sure some of the medicine already invented had been working well, very well. In fact, one of my friend father and mother had got treated with this. They recovered. So I hope we'll come out of this pandemic situation very soon. We'll have physical school very soon.
Yes.
All right. Ma'am, before I can hand over to you to conclude on today's session,
Yes, sir.
I would like to remind all the parents and all the students, we have one more webinar coming up tomorrow between 4 to 5 p.m. The
Yes.
webinar is on overcoming the collective trauma, COVID-19. And Mr. Professor Rakesh Jain is going to talk about it. He's from New Delhi. He is also impacted with corona, and he has come out of that, and he has given a lot of speeches, and he has motivated a good number of people, and he is going to share about what he has gone through, and how we can overcome this trauma, and all together. I'm sure many of you might have been worried with the news of COVID-19 and all that. Hopefully we'll find some answers in tomorrow's webinar. So I request all the parents and students to take some time and attend this webinar without any miss. That would be all from Q&A, ma'am. Lalita,
Yes,
ma'am,
sir.
I request you
Yes.
to conclude the webinar and close it, ma'am.
Yes, yes, sir. So, dear parents, I hope you found this session useful. And the net takeaways, I should say, from the webinar is, yes, we should work positively with every child. Okay, we should take the children, we should be role models for the children. And we should also remember that preschool education is not just the A to Z's and the 1 to 100s, but preschool education is all the skills. And this is because the child's brain development is maximum from the time they're born till they are 7 years old. And therefore, preschool education, because all the values, all the habits that we inculcate at this age remains with them throughout their life. So preschool is not just preparation for grade 1, but preschool education is life skills, life education. And therefore, parents, please take it seriously. And I look forward to working with all of you, very closely. Yes. And have a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend. And we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow with the next of our series of webinars. Thank you, parents. And thank you, Naidu sir and Subhi sir.
Thank you,
all
ma'am.
teachers.
Thank you, my dear parents. Have a nice weekend. See you again tomorrow evening, 4 o'clock.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.